Hello everyone, good morning, good evening. Welcome to Easy Cloud Prep. Today we are going to see about the event-based pipeline run in Azure Data Factory. So basically we are going to trigger our pipeline whenever any event is occurred. So that is called a pipeline run based on the event. So let's take a quick sample use case. I have a two storage area. One is blob, another one is ADLS. So whenever file will be placed in a blob, so I need to take that file, I need to process that file, and I need to make a copy of that file in the ADLS. So this is a sample use case we are going to see today. So without wasting much time, let's get directly into the Azure Data Factory. So let me open adf.azure.com. You open this one. Okay. So what first thing what we are going to do? So we should have a two types of storage account, right? One is a blob and another one is ADLS. So I will show you. I already created a two storage area. I'll show you. Go to our storage account. So here I have a blob and this is an ADLS. So I'm opening a blob. So I'm going to create a new container for our demo. Let me create a container quickly. Easy cloud trip blob. Let me enable access, create. So same like that, I'm going for a ADLS. I'm going to create at the destination also. Let me see cloud trip blob container created. Now, if you see here, in a blob, I do have a one container as a cloud trip blob. I'm going to an ADLS. I have a AZ cloud trip blob. So in both places, I have a container created. So I think this is enough. This is more than enough. So whenever file is or fold any folder is created or any folder created or any file is created inside that one, we need to pick up that file automatically and we need to process through by our pipeline. This is what we are going to do. So for this scenario, if you want to achieve the use case in ADF, we should be creating a trigger. So what I'm going to do, I'm creating a new pipeline. Let me create a new pipeline. So I'm going to create a two parameter. One is file name, another one is folder path. I should be knowing inside my program. So where what is a file name I'm going to process and where it is coming from. So that's why I've created a two placeholder here. So once this two placeholder is created, next what I'm going to do, I am going to add a trigger. New and edit, click and add on trigger, new and edit, and choose new trigger. And this is easy cloud trip storage event. Type there are so many types of trigger is available. So as of now, for this use case we will be picking the storage event. Storage event is nothing but whenever any event occurred in the storage, this this pipeline will get triggered. So basically it will trigger this pipeline whenever any new file is placed or anything happening inside the storage. Okay. So let me pick the subscription. Let me pick the storage account. My source storage is blob. I want to watch my source storage for a file. My container name is easy cloud trip blob. Easy cloud trip blob. So I want to watch specifically. This is a kind of a filtration. Okay, in storage area we may get a n number of formats, right? Like we may get a image file, we may get a csv file, we may get a xls file. So but I am interested to pick only a csv file. So whenever any needs any file which have a .csv at the end, So it is placed in the sense that this trigger will automatically invoke this pipeline. So, and oh, I don't want to ignore the empty blob. So this is a two types of event. One is I want to trigger my pipeline whenever any blob is created. So you can also do that whenever blob is deleted. You can also trigger the pipeline. Let me continue. As of now, I don't have any blob inside my container, so that's why it is not showing anything here. If you have already blob inside in your container, it will show you here. Click on continue. So here the place we need to give a uh, we need to fetch the file name and the folder path from a trigger. Okay, so basically this is happening. This event this event architecture is happening behind the event grid. Okay, so basically from we can if we want to fetch this information whenever any trigger is happening, we need to give two things. Okay, one is trigger body dot file name. So this is a trigger body dot folder path. So these two things should be given. Okay, basically this is a static one. If you want to access the folder path or if you want to access a file name whenever any trigger is happening, this is how you need to give it. So I'm clicking OK. So as of now, my trigger is ready and I have two parameters which will receive the file name and a folder path. Okay, so let me show you the first thing. I'm adding some sample pipeline. I'm publishing it. So we need to check, right? Event pipeline. So basically we need to do a unit testing for our trigger now. Okay, so I'm going to place a one file. So this pipeline should get triggered and I will get information about the file name and the folder path. Let me publish this one. Don't forget to publish. That is very, very important. Okay. So what I'm going to upload a blob now. Going to a storage account. Going inside my blob storage account. Go to your container blob. Okay. And I'm going to upload a file. So what I'm going to do. So I'm going to upload in a subfolder. Okay. Let's see. So my subfolder name is folder one. I'm going to place a CSV file now. Drag and drop, come down, upload it. That's it. So if you see, the file is uploaded now in a blob area. Now I'm going to ADF. Let's watch whether our pipeline got triggered or not. Go to a monitor. Let me refresh it. Yes, the event pipeline got triggered. See, this is our pipeline. So immediately it will trigger. Okay, it won't take much time. Immediately it will trigger. Okay, so this is a important thing. Okay, whenever you want to process n number of files, don't use for loop. Okay, instead go with the event based. Whenever a file is placed, trigger your pipeline so that it will run. So if you go by a for loop, obviously you're going to pay high cost. So don't use a loop. So I want to check what is a file name and what is a folder name and what is a container name, right? So for that, now take a close look. So here file name is, this is my file name. So I'll show you in a blob. This is my file name. Okay, the same thing it will show in ADF. I'm getting the information in my pipeline parameter, file name, and folder path is, this is my container name and this is my folder name. Okay, I'm going to add this information also. Click OK. Okay, got it. So basically if you see here, this is a folder path and this is a file name. Okay, so now our trigger is working fine. Now the next important thing what we need to do, I'm going to set a variable here. So here the next thing. So I will show you a one trick here. Okay, So by using, so if I want to store all this information, I have three information now. One is container name, another one is folder name, another one is file name. So these three information I'm having currently, right? So this thing, three information I want to store in a one variable. Okay, this is what I'm going to do, because inside your pipeline you may you can able to utilize the variable concept. Okay, for that purpose you can also create a variable. But the trick here is we are going to store a three information. I'm not going to create a three separate variable. I'm going to create one variable, and I'm going to store all these things in a JSON format. That's a trick I'm going to do here. Go to setting, click on new variable, create one variable where give it type as array, click confirm. Now go to the dynamic expression, click on dynamic expression, expand this one. I will show you the trick. What I'm going to do, I'll show you the trick. So tell it. Okay. So I do have a three information, right? So I do have a two parameters, and I do have a three. I want to have a three information separately. I want to have a container information is what. I need to have a folder path. Okay, equal to what? I need to have a file name. I want to store all these three information in a single variable. Okay, that is what I'm going to do. But what we have today, like we have file name and file path, but the file path contains the container name. Okay, let me. Okay, my file. How the file path contains container name slash folder path. So here it's containing file name. Okay, file name I don't have any problem. It is one-to-one mapping. But if you see the folder path, it starts with the container name, and it have two information. Okay, combinedly. It starts with the container name and ends with the folder path. So, but I need to segregate the container name into a separate variable, which is called container. I need to segregate this folder path in a folder path, and I need to have my file name information in my file name. This is what I'm going to do. So I'm going back to my ADF. So I will explain you this one. So in ADF, everything is JSON. Okay, everything is JSON. Even a pipeline, even a pipeline, we can able to create a pipeline through by JSON. Okay, each and everything in ADF is a JSON. Okay, we can able to define everything as a JSON. So I'm going to follow the same approach here. Okay, instead of creating a separate variable for each and everything, I'm going to define my own JSON here, and I'm going to utilize in the following activities. That is what I'm going to do. So if you see here, container, I'm framing a JSON key value pair. Okay, I'm framing the key value pair here. So I'm having a three keys: container name, folder path, file name, and I'm having the corresponding values here. But I am writing a dynamic expression here. Depending upon the input, it will segregate, it will split it, and it will give to me. Okay, the important thing you should be noting here is folder path, folder path. So the important part here you need to be noted here is the two things. One is take and one is skip. Okay, the two function which is an inbuilt function in ADF. Okay, take and skip. So if you go function, if you type a take, so it will show you like what is the purpose of this take. Basically, if we want to pick, cherry pick the thing, like if we want to pick the first one. Okay, first after splitting, if you want to take the first thing by using an index, we can do that. If we want to skip the first thing, yes, we can do that by specifying the index. Okay, that is what the purpose of take and skip. So what I'm going to do, uh, going back to my here, So I'm going to take this container name alone. I'm going to take this for my container key. For a folder path, I'm going to skip this container name alone. So remaining thing will automatically comes under a folder path. So this is what I'm going to do here. But the important thing is everything is string. Okay, you cannot able to, everything should be in string. Okay, because we are framing in a okay, concord in the sense everything should be in a string. I'm concording all the strings, and after concording everything, after framing the JSON syntax according to the JSON syntax, I'm converting them to a JSON format, and then after that I'm converting it to an array format. Okay, so that's why I created an array variable. Okay, so you can pass this video and you can observe how I have written an expression, and you can follow the same. Okay, I'm doing a split first. If you see here, the difference between these two expressions, only one thing. I'm using skip, and here I'm using a take. That's it. Okay, so you can have n number of key value pair here. Okay, there is no limitation. You can have n number of key value pair here. Okay, suppose consider that if you want to create a separate variable for container, folder path, file name. Okay, see, think about that one. It is not going to work out because it will take you a lot of time, lot of execution time. Leads to increase in cost also for your ADF, right? So it's best way to do this. Okay, so now my content is ready. Like content in the sense, like my variable value is ready. I'm clicking OK. Let me show you how this is going to produce. Okay, what is the output of this variable? So and then you will get some idea about this one. Let me publish it. I'm going to again place a file in my blob. Let me, I'm going to folder one, going to folder one. Let me place a blob again. One second. Let me place a blob again. Override. Okay, make sure it is published properly. Once after publishing is completed, it's good to place a file. Okay. Then upload it. Come back to ADF. Go to a monitor. Now I'll show you. File is placed. Immediately the trigger will happen. I'll show you. See, the trigger is happened. Okay. I'm going inside my pipeline. Okay. So if you see here, this is what I'm talking about. Okay. Folder path, folder one slash folder one. Yeah, I think that's how we have created it. Okay. Basically cloud trip blob. So in, if you see the blob structure, I have a folder one. Inside I have a folder one. So inside that I have a file. So if you see here, the same thing we captured, right? So folder is folder one slash folder path is this one. This is subfolders, and this is my container. This is my file name. That's it. So if you see here, so this is how if we can add a number of information like this. Okay, and we can able to. I'll also show you how to utilize how you can access this information. Like if you want to access a particular information container, you can do that. If you want to access a file name, you can do that particularly. Okay, then now I'm closing it. Now come to a actual part. Copy, copy, copy here, connect it. Now what we need to do, we are in a blob, we place the file, but still it is not moved to ADLS, right? But that is what we are going to configure now. Storage area 2. Okay, go to source, plus click my blob, type blob. Our first storage area is blob storage, CSV, click easy cloud trip, blob storage, link service. I already created a link service for this one. Don't do anything here. Just click OK. Go to sync. Click plus. Type Gen2. Click here. Continue. The interesting thing here is I'm getting a CSV file, but while placing into a blob, so ADLS storage, I'm going to convert it into a Parquet. Okay, you need not to do separate transformation here for Parquet and conversion. It automatically takes care. Let me show you. Cloud trip, ADLS, ADLS. Just click OK. Okay, so till now my more source data set is ready. My sync data set is ready. So one more extra thing we need to do here. The thing is, like whatever the folder structure we are following in the source, we are going to follow the same in the ADLS. Okay, so for that, what we need to do, you need to define this file path type as a wildcard file path. So just hit star star. Whatever comes in, it goes to ADLS. That is what I'm doing here. Source side, I'm not restricting anything, any folder, anything. Okay. But one thing we need to do here, it should know what is a container name. Okay. So for that, go here, go to a parameter here, click parameter, type container. I'm creating one parameter here. That's it. Now go here. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm mapping the newly created parameter here. That's it. My dataset level parameter. This is a dataset level parameterization. So now come back to an pipeline. Now, if you see here, the data set in this data set, I've created one parameter. So that parameter is came here. Now, what I need to do here, I need to give value. So, what is the value we need to give? Like we already have a pipeline parameter, right? File name and folder path. We already extracted the folder path, parsed the folder path information, and we already extracted these three informations, right? Like what is my container, what is my folder path, what is my file name, right? We already have by this set variable. I'm going to utilize that one. So here I need to give only the container information. For that, what I need to do, go to a variable. My variable name is this one. You need to specify the index, and you need to specify the name, container. That's it. My source is ready. I configured everything for a source. That's it. Now go to sync. So here the interesting thing is same thing. You need to have a parameter here. Go and create a parameter, container, click save, done. Come back to here, come back here, sync, parquet. So name container, the name of the container is mapped. Okay, let me 1 second. This is my pipeline, right? No, this is not my pipeline. This is my old pipeline. Okay, so that's why it has picked the old pipeline. Okay, even pipeline is our pipeline. Now, if you see, like data set, I have created only one parameter, right? In a Parquet. So what I'm going to do, go to dynamic instance, dynamic content, go to a variable. I'm going to utilize the same thing, zero container. Click OK. Here the interesting thing, like so copy behavior is important one. How we are going to have your copy behavior. Either you need to follow the same structure as source, or you want to merge all the files and place it, or you want a flatten hierarchy. So that you need to specify here. As of now, what I'm going to do, preserve hierarchy. Preserve hierarchy in the sense as in source how the hierarchy is followed for a file. The same thing I'm going to replicate in at the destination. Okay, that is what I'm going to do. That's it. My pipeline is ready now. I'm publishing this one. And the last final thing I'll show you, the interesting thing is you can add your user properties, auto generate it. Okay. Plus what I'm going to do, I'm add my another user properties, full file path. Okay. So for that, what I'm going to do, just you can go here, folder path, copy this one, and go to user properties here, folder path slash at file name. I will show you here what I have done here. So this is what I've done here. I just concatenated, okay, by using a slash. So basically I need this information in my output. So that is why I'm doing here, okay. So I've added the user property also. Let me publish these all changes. Publish this one. Okay, I think it's published. Now what I'll do, I'll go to storage account. I will show you in ADLS inside a container. Go inside a container. Nothing is there, correct? Nothing is there. So I will duplicate this one. Now I'm going to place a file. Okay. So what I'll do, here I will create a folder 3. Okay. Go to here, type folder 3. It's a file. Now let's see what is happening. I've created a folder 3 and I'm placing one file in the under the folder 3, right? Folder 3. Now go back to ADF immediately. Go here. Now refresh it. Got it. So now if you see here, our pipeline started running and the folder path, see here, folder path is our this one container. I created a folder 3 and this is my file name. See, this is the purpose I have added the user properties. Okay, this is how it will help you. Okay, so you need not to go inside a pipeline. This is how it help you. My pipeline got succeeded. I'm going inside my ADF. Okay, I'm inside my ADF. Sorry, inside my ADL storage account. I'm going inside my container. So if we see, like this is the one we have created it, right? But but say if you go inside one, whatever we created it, it doesn't. We don't have any files at all. Why? Think about think about this. Why it is not placed a file here? The thing is, if you remember, in a storage account we use the same container information, right? It is expecting the same container to be present at the ADLS also. If you see the container name here, let me go to a storage blob storage container name. So if you see, observe here, the container name is AZCLOU. D is not there. Okay, cloud trip blob. But in ADLS, what we have created it, in ADLS, what we have created, in ADLS, we have created with this name. AZ Cloud D is there. Okay, in blob, now this is the one. Okay, so if you see here, AZ Cloud Trip Blob. Okay, so name is D is missing here in a blob storage account. But in ADLS, what we did, like we added a D and we have created the container. So which since this is a mismatch of the container names, what ADF did, it created their own container and placed the file. Now let me go to ADLS container. If you see here, it created their own container, AZ Cloud Trip Blob, same container it has created, and it plays with all the files. So this is the beauty of ADF. If it, if any of the, if any of the same name or same thing is not exist at the destination side, same container name or same folder name is not exist at the destination side, it will automatically create it. Okay, so you need not to worry about, so you need to worry about only the source side. So in destination, automatically if it is there, it will put inside that one. If it is not there, it will create it and it will put inside that one. So that's the beauty of this event driven program. Okay, and also that's the beauty of the preserve hierarchy. Okay, mention that the copy behavior is very important here. Okay, so now what we will do, I'll go to monitor and I'll show you the pipeline run. You will get some idea here. I think we talked about the folder path and file name, right? So you can also see about the parameters here. Okay. If you want to include these information in the output, you can always do that. Okay. It's best practice to add the user properties so that people will know what is the input, what is the output, right? So you can also export to one CSV. You can open that one. Okay, so this is all about the event-driven pipeline in Azure Data Factory. I hope this will help you. Okay. So we didn't. So the purpose I have showed you the set variable concept here. We didn't heavily use this set variable concept in this pipeline, but going forward we will be using heavily this thing. At the time, you will realize the importance of this dynamic expression. This is a simple pipeline. Okay, so that's why we didn't heavily use to this concept. So I hope this session helps you. If any doubts, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much. Thank you for your valuable time.